Today I'm going to talk about world number one, Rory McIlroy. He's known as one of the most athletic golfers in the game, and he's also one of the hardest working physically on tour. One of the main reasons he's got back to world number one is he's one of the most dedicated individuals to looking after his body. What many don't realise is when he first turned professional, he had a lot of lower back issues. As a result, he's had to really work hard on his physical side to make sure he stays injury-free to increase his longevity in the game. Furthermore, he's also one of the best drivers in the history of the game. He often clocks ball speeds of over 190 mile an hour and leads the tour in strokes gained driving. Much of this is down to his athleticness and keeping on top of his physical side. In this video, we're going to go through some of the exercises he does in his workout, which he's notoriously known for doing both in season and off season, whether he's at a tournament or not. We're going to explain the reasons behind each exercise and how it helps benefit his game. First exercise is front foot elevated split squat. Rory will use this exercise as a little bit of an accessory movement, maybe to like a bigger back squat type movement, front squat, something with a barbell that kind of is a heavier load. This will help kind of get the movement going. It might also be good to do if you're not competent using a barbell, and it will help predominantly increase the vertical force capabilities, which are massively important in the golf swing, and some generalized strength through the hip, the knee, and the ankle. In a simple fashion, it's just trying to control the movement down. You're going to get a fuller range of motion because you're obviously elevated up, and a little bit more stretch for the glute. That will just kind of help with kind of keeping some mobility and increasing that vertical force production. The next exercise is a half kneeling single arm row. Like any rowing exercise, it's going to have a large focus in increasing strength in the pulling motion and the lat muscles. Obviously, the lat muscles play an important role in postural control in the golf swing and in rotational force. In a simple fashion, the bench just gives a little bit more support that might help get a little bit more load through the movement, which is obviously great for shoulder health and keeping stability through the trunk. The key is he's trying to get that stretching motion down through the lat and pulling at a slightly diagonal angle to get that lat engagement at the top. Next is the seated bicep curl. A lot of golfers may think it's a little bit pointless training arms. However, strength through the biceps and the triceps can be very good for protecting against golfers' elbows. So it's great for injury prevention, but then on top of that, increasing some overall muscle mass, regardless of where that is on the body, can be a productive thing for producing more force and stability in the golf swing. Simply done, you can do different variations of this, but just sat on the bench, curling in a very simple manner, just trying to get some engagement through that bicep muscle. Next, the incline bench press, specifically the neutral grip variation. Now, Rory's probably chosen the neutral grip as it can be a little bit friendlier on the shoulder. Sometimes some of the other grip variations can be a little bit more stressful through the shoulder or even the elbow and wrist joint. The key to this is obviously improving pushing strength and power through the big pec muscles. Now, the pec muscles play a really important role in producing a lot of club head speed through the golf swing. The key is obviously with the incline position is getting those wrists in a neutral position, feeling like the lower back stays quite set through the core and bringing them down under control, pressing up in a straight line without the elbows flaring out too much. Next up is the repeated squat jump motion. A jumping variation should be included in all golf training plans. The purpose is to try and create power from the ground up, very much that vertical force output. The repeated movement, we have to learn to deaccelerate hard on the way down on landing and jump up explosively in a repeated manner, using the arms at all times to create that kind of extra momentum. For this exercise, Rory has purposely chosen a snatch grip RDL or Romanian deadlift. Now, the snatch grip adds in a different dimension, engaging more of the lat muscles because the arms are a little bit more wider in an abducted position. Obviously, the exercise is predominantly focusing on increasing strength through the hamstrings and glutes, which is great for postural control. The snatch grip, rule of thumb, would naturally be probably little fingers on the barbell rings, which should feel like the lats are engaged. From there, we have to maintain that angle, feeling like the chest stays out, and creating that good hinging motion with that grip.